What is going on, everybody? What is going on? It is Friday, May 22nd, 2022. I was about to say 21. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody is doing well. I was about to say 21. Hope everybody is doing well. Today, on this beautiful day that we are having, spring is officially here. And more importantly, tour season has officially started. Well, it started yesterday or 2 days ago. But this is the first stream that we're doing under the best sign, which is the tourist sign. Shout out to all of my tourists out there that are listening. This is our time right now. For the next month, we got it on lock. Shout out to my April tourists. Shout out to my May tourists, especially since I'm a May tourist myself. My birthday is less than 2 weeks away. I'm very uh, glad about that. Let's see who all we have in here. Hacksign KT, Jamal, Darlene, Letitia, Tawana. Shout out to all of you who are in here so far. I'm glad that you are here. We're going to chop it up a little bit for the first 10 minutes, and then we're going to go ahead and get started. We have quite a few topics that we're going to be discussing today. And it's going to be a good stream. As y'all already know, last week I told y'all I was going to be on this channel this week instead of my main channel because we have 5 Fridays in April. And I wanted to still make sure that I do my freestyle Fridays at the end of the month, but I didn't want to do 2 streams back to back on the main channel. And show this channel some love too, especially since this is the smaller channel. Let's see who else do we have. Amara, Janesta, DSM Sinister. What's going on? The weather is beautiful, darling. It is wonderful. This is my type of weather. I'm a spring baby. So this is my type of weather right here where it's not hot, it's not cold, it's right in between. Like you can just go outside and just be like, just stand out there with your arms open wide, like you about to hug nature and just chill. Let's see. Pisces, the king. Hassan said, everyone hit the like button. Exactly. Everybody hit that like button. Like I said, the trick to the algorithm on YouTube is to get the likes up to a certain point within a certain amount of time. That pushes the algorithm, that pushes your video and your streams out there. So say, for instance, that I had 100 likes on this stream within like the first 10 minutes of it being live. It would push, the algorithm would push it out to more people. Same thing with the videos on my main channel. I think I need to stress that a little bit more. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I don't know if I need to do it in a video format or if I need to do it on a community post. But I feel like I do it I do it every so now. Maybe people just need a reminder of how that works. And yes, I know sometimes the notifications go out and sometimes they don't. Like I just got the notification on my phone for this stream and we just been live for 3 minutes and it just came through. So if I got the notification just now, I know everybody else just got it too for those who have their notifications turned on. Let's see. Spidey said DJ Envy should be embarrassed, and I love hot weather. We're going to talk about that. Janessa said it snowed here in Detroit 3 days ago. I heard about that. I said, Detroit got some weird weather. How is it that it's nice everywhere else, but Detroit is like the only place in America where it snowed like it was still winter? Like, that's crazy. Like, we are in the middle of spring. Like, we are we're close to a month into, well, over a month into spring, and it snowed there a few days ago. That's weird. What's going on, Mark? Nikki God said it just came through for me. So yeah, like I said, it just popped up onto my phone. So I know if I just got it, it came through too. But I don't need it because clearly I'm already here. Nino, what's going on? PD Chicago said, yo, what's up? Salute to T Rain. Salute to you, RG Titan. What's going on? Glad that you are all here. And one thing I need y'all to also do is share the stream as well on your various social media platforms, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, no matter where it is that you are, whatever platform that you have, and let the people know that we are live. Gnome King, what's going on? Tia, welcome. She said Michigan weather is malicious. I'm starting to believe that. Snow in the end of April, that's ridiculous. That's crazy. I'm just excited because, as y'all know, or maybe not know, I will be going to LA in a couple, like less than 2 weeks now. for my birthday from the 1st through the 7th. I've already packed everything. I'm not one of those people that likes to wait to the last minute to, have everything packed. All of the stuff that I ordered as far as clothing and everything like that has come in the mail, so I'm not waiting on any more items. The last thing that came in was what I posted on my community tab with the sweats and the shirt, the Black Man Can apparel. And make sure y'all go out and support those businesses, those Black-owned businesses. For the most part, a lot of stuff that I did order is from a Black-owned business, even down to the shoes. And that's, that stuff is pretty much all packed up. So come May 1st, which is a Sunday, I'll be ready to get up out of here. First flight out of the area and be heading to the West Coast for a week. And I cannot wait. I've been anticipating this trip since I booked it back in October. There's a DSM Sinister. It's the same deal here in Iowa. Spring one day, winter the next, spring again. I didn't know you was in Iowa. I didn't, of all places. I would have never thought I had people who watch me in Iowa. Hacks on LA, yikes. Man, safe out there. I was born in that city, but the thought of being around the LAPD makes me very uncomfortable. Well, I'm not going to LA to go see the LAPD. As you already know, the LAPD is in my top 5 most corrupt police departments. I've established that plenty of times. It's like number 2 for me. NYPD at this point will always be number 1. Janessa said, "Is that your outfit I saw?" Yes, that's one of them. That's the one you saw because that was a Black-owned company that I bought it from. The rest of them that I got, those weren't from Black-owned places, with the exception of the shoes. The shoes, both of them are from Black-owned businesses, as well as the sweats, the shirt, and the snapback all came from a Black-owned, 3 different Black-owned apparel businesses. But I just wanted to show people, like, I had someone who was shocked when they saw me post that stuff. They was like, "Wow, you really do be out here supporting Black-owned business. You don't just talk about it. You are actually about it." I said, "Yeah, I really do be supporting Black-owned business, and I actually plan on supporting another one, but not for myself." There's in the area where I'm at. Well, for those of you who are familiar with the DMV area who live here, you are familiar with something called mumbo sauce, which is a very popular sauce in this area that people, you can find it at a lot of carryouts. But there's a mumbo sauce company that is actually ran by 2 I don't know if they're still teenagers now. Well, they probably are, but the young like older teens, I'm not exactly sure their age. The 2 brothers, and they make their own mumbo sauce, and I've actually ordered from them in the past a couple of times. But I do plan on ordering it again, but it's not going to be for me. It's actually going to be for the people who I'm going to be going to chill with out in LA, because in LA that's not something that's popular out there, because it's not part of their, I guess you could say, part of their culture. So I'm gonna order that, and what made me think of it is because when I posted up a picture of the mumbo sauce when I got it a while back, one of the people out there said, "Wow, I've always wanted to try that, but living out in Cali, we don't have that, so, or it's not popular out there," and that stuck with me. So I'm definitely going to order me a bottle, and then I'm gonna send it to the PO box of one of the people out there so they can have it. But I'm not telling them that I'm sending it, like it's going to catch them off guard. So that's what I plan on doing. Well, when I do is when I order it, I'm gonna post, like, the link and everything like that. So if people want to order for themselves, they can go ahead and do so as well. Mumbo sauce is really good, but one thing I like about it is that it's not a one size fits all type of thing. Everybody makes their own mumbo sauce differently, but it still has a distinct kind of flavor to it as well. It's good no matter, like, pretty much no matter who makes it. I've tried different mumbo sauces, and I have no complaints about any of the ones that I've tried. But yes, mumbo sauce is a staple in the DMV area. It is a staple. You can find it at just about any carryout. They even sell it in the stores. Even at my job, they even have a contract with a major mumbo sauce company called Capital C Mumbo Sauce or something like that, and they sell it in the stores. And they have a contract with them, and they actually now distribute it inside of the building that I work in. When I'm working there, and So you can actually buy it at the stores. I don't know if they sell it at every store, because I know at Walmart distributes it, but I don't know if they carry it out there. What I'll probably do is I might, when I go out there, I might go to a Wally World out there to see if they have it. I will be shocked if they did. I'm like, look at the mumbo sauce, you know, crossing state lines. Tildar says, do they sell it online? So if you're thinking of what the mumbo sauce I'm talking about, then yes, they do have it online. But like I said, when I order it, I'm going to post the link to it in my community tab, and you'll be able to go and order it yourself. And it's very affordable. And it's made in-house. It's not like it's being ordered from a factory and they distribute it and they send it to you like the Capital City one is. This is a homemade one that's made by two brothers that live in a city called Upper Marlboro, Maryland. But yeah, I'm gonna probably do that next week because it's a perishable item. I don't want to order it right now, so I will probably order it probably towards maybe the halfway through the week, maybe on Wednesday of next week, and then to send it out there, because I know it's going to take maybe a couple of days to get there because it's traveling across country. It's got to go multiple state lines, so it's not like if I'm ordering it and I'm like right down the street and it's going to get to me like within 2 days. I know with them it's probably going to take a couple of days to get there. But the point I'm making is I want to order it where to the point where it's just getting there when I'm getting there. Mata Haya. Well, mumbo sauce is not a spicy sauce. Now, I will say this: some of them you can get where it has a bit of a spice or kick to it, but for the most part, it's always been a mild sauce. For the most part, it's always been mostly a mild sauce. It's not always been such a hot sauce. You can get it hot, but it's mainly known for being a mild sauce, and it's like a tangy, sweet flavor. That's the best way that I can describe it. But it's not a hot sauce. It's not sriracha or Texas Pete or Louisiana or Crystals. It's not a hot sauce. I'll just put it like that. But anyway, it is. Oh, Monty said, when I moved to Southeast DC, that's all that put on your chicken box if you ask for it or not. Yeah, because it's a staple. Like they put it there whether you ask for it or not. Yeah, it's a staple. It's a staple sauce. But anyway, it is now 5:13. Listen, I could talk about this all day. It is now 5:13. We're now going to go ahead and get into these topics. So let me go ahead and share my screen, and we're going to go ahead and get into it. The first thing we're going to be talking about is this problematic individual by the name of Ezra Miller. Let's go ahead and play this audio right quick and see what they're talking about.
Big story at 5. The Flash star Ezra Miller is arrested again on the Big Island. This time, he's accused of assaulting a woman in Puna.
Police say Miller threw a chair at her just hours before a court date for the actor's previous arrest. Our Jolani Martinez joins us now with the details. Jolani?
Steph, Keahi, this latest run-in happened at a home in the Leilani Estates subdivision shortly after 1 this morning.
Hawaii County Police say Ezra Miller was asked to leave a get-together at a home. Instead, they say Miller threw a chair at a 26-year-old woman, leaving her with a half-inch cut on the forehead. Officers say they later arrested the actor during a traffic stop in Kea'au. Miller was released around 4 this morning, pending further investigation. Hours later, Miller appeared before a judge in Hilo via Zoom and formally accepted a plea deal with prosecutors for an arrest last month. Miller identifies as non-binary, and the judge used the gender-neutral salutation mix in court.
Mix Miller, how do you plead as to disorderly conduct that occurred on March 27, 2022? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
In exchange for that no contest plea, the state dropped a harassment charge and traffic infraction against the actor. Miller was also ordered to stay away from Margarita Village in Hilo. That's where Miller allegedly ripped a microphone out of a woman's hands and lunged at a man playing darts 3 weeks ago.
How old are you?
I'm 29 years of age.
And how many? Okay. And how many years of schooling have you had? High school, college?
Fair few. I'm a high school dropout. I dropped out when I was 15.
Okay. Will you read, write, understand English?
I do. A little.
Miller received no jail time, but was ordered to pay a $500 fine. That drops down to just $30 once the court applies what Miller's already paid in bail.
Okay, thank you, sir. Have a good day. Aloha.
Aloha. Aloha, Kako.
Miller has not been charged for this morning's alleged assault in Leilani Estates. Jelani Martinez, Hawaii News Now.
Thank you, Jelani.
Ireland this time.
Oh, hope so.
Get together at a home.
All right, so y'all just heard that. And let me just say, this is probably the most tame and calm I have ever seen Ezra Miller ever be. Because usually every time he's being interviewed or something, he's always has a lot of energy, like he just did a few lines of coke. I guess the supplier didn't come through for him on this day because he was being very calm, or maybe they gave him something to calm his nerves, because that's like the most tame I've ever seen him be. Usually he almost be bouncing off the walls and stuff like that. But yes, Ezra Miller has been arrested again, because remember, he just got arrested like less than a month ago in Hawaii for, I did a video on it, and for attacking some people at this woman at a karaoke bar, attacked this other guy playing darts. He had broken into the hostel of this couple. And now fast forward to this, you see it says he threw a woman at he threw a chair at a woman's head, and they said it left it with a half-inch cut in the middle of her head. But they want to they keep giving him cover, because I keep telling people he has the Trinity. He has the Trinity that's protecting him. He's PC, he's in the academy, and he's Jewish. R.D. Titan said he's the one that choked somebody. Yes. Yeah, that's the same one. This is the same Ezra Miller that a couple years ago had choked this female fan on camera, and nothing happened to him then. And I said, the people who got let go over at WB because of the merger between them and Discovery, I said, this is their karma, because you can't tell me they didn't know about Ezra Miller's behavior before then, because his behavior dates back a few years. This is not new. But see, he keeps doing this because they keep allowing him to get away with it. And I told people I wouldn't be surprised if he is one of the reasons as to why the Flash movie keeps getting delayed. That movie has been delayed so many times. It has been delayed so many times. The Flash movie's most recent date that was supposed to have the release date was supposed to be at the end towards the end of this year, like around November. They pushed that date all the way back to like the summer of 2023. And the thing is, I actually wanted to see this Flash movie before all of this, really came out and everything. But now they can have it. They can have it. Just like they can have Aquaman 2 because of another toxic individual, Amber Heard. And I'm going to be honest, I haven't been keeping up with the case with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. But that case is actually in Fairfax, Virginia, for those of you who are familiar with Fairfax, Virginia. Because Johnny Depp is a Virginia native, in case y'all didn't know. And I'm kind of glad that they're having the trial there, because, it's less attention from the press if they were to do it in, say, LA. But I'm not seeing it because she's going to be in that. See what I mean? Again, and now the privilege she has is she's PC and she's a woman. Again, two people in the DC world, in the DC universe, or the DC entertainment universe, as they call it, two toxic individuals, and they're still allowed to work, even through all of their toxicity. But Will Smith, though, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there. I kept telling people I'm going to stop talking about the incident, but y'all get where I'm coming from. Donna said, where are all the celebrities talking against him? Good question. Where are they? I can't remember seeing one celebrity get online and speaking anything about Ezra Miller. I can't remember any entertainment reporter asking any celebrity on any red carpet, because there have been some red carpet events since the Oscars, asking them about Ezra Miller or what do they think about Ezra Miller. But now they're probably going to be asking them, what do you think about what happened with Mike Tyson? And I do have a video that's coming up about that incident, especially with the most recent news that I found out about the person that antagonized him. And it's sad too, because I actually wanted to see Aquaman 2, because I actually liked the first Aquaman movie. It actually surprised me with the visuals, because I was worried about how they were going to do those underwater effects, and they pulled it off pretty flawlessly. But I said, if Amber Heard was in any part of that movie, I don't care how big or small the role may be, I was not about to go watch her in it. What's going on, Kid Gravity? But yeah, we'll see what happens with this, or does not happen, because it seems like with Ezra Miller, a lot has not been happening. They constantly allow him to get away with it every single time, and they can try to say, I don't know what they can say. Didn't they say he got like a $500 bond, so he only had to pay $30? See what I'm talking about? $500. What is that to a person who has made probably millions off of just one role? That's nothing. He is what people will call Teflon Don. He's very untouchable, and I'm talking about Ezra Miller. But all I'm gonna say is this: he gonna run up on the right one day, and they gonna knock his ass back. Then I'll bet you he'll stop. It's just that he hasn't ran up on the right one yet. Nino, you said you never seen a bond under 1,000. Me neither. That's crazy. $500 was wow. $500 is a drop in the bucket for him. Janessa said, did you hear about the doctor that was acquitted in Columbia? Yes, I did. And I do have a video coming up about that. That is some BS. But I do have a video coming up about that as well soon. Hopefully it'll most likely be up next week, though. I have a lot of commentaries coming up, so don't worry. But I did hear about that. But let me move on to the next story. Tia says, so this is not toxic masculinity, right? Oh, I'm glad you said that. Silly Porter. Let me go back to this. Silly Porter.
Instead, they
Hold
say,
up. Where are you at? Where are you at? He want to wag his finger talking about Will Smith and toxic masculinity when he was being interviewed by Kevin Frazier, that dummy, on the red carpet. Remember he said something about that? I know Harvey did a video about it. Professor Black Truth did a video about it too recently. Where's your toxic masculinity for this? Oh, I know, that's right. You're not going to talk about Ezra Miller. He's everything you want to be. He's everything that that your husband might be. And like I said, if I wanted to still talk about the incident, I definitely would have went at Silly Porter's neck again for that comment and linked it back to this. But since I said I'm going to stop talking about it, that's why I didn't say it. But I'm throwing it in right now. Non-existent. Because all he does is talk about toxic masculinity when it comes to heterosexual black men. And then he want to talk about the queen that he is. But anyway, we know what team he plays for in more ways than one. Let's move on. Janessa said no one is talking about it. Of course they're not talking about it. It was a white doctor, and all of his victims, as far as I know, were white. But we're going to get into that. We're going to talk about that on the main channel like next week. But let's now get into this one. This is a crazy story right here. And this was actually sent to me by Craig J, and shout out to him, because I didn't know if I was going to do this on my main channel as a pre-recorded video or in the live stream. I said, let me just throw it in here. But look at this. It says Troy murder suspect accused of cutting off victim's thumb to use the cell phone. What were you trying to find in this person's phone that you had to cut their finger off to do it? Listen, it says bail was set at $1.5 million for a Troy man accused of killing his roommate and cutting off the victim's thumb to access his cell phone. Troy police said Sean Christopher Huggins, age 25 of Troy, was interviewed Thursday in the disappearance of 25-year-old Easton Ho and admitted to killing him. Huggins is charged with aggravated murder, abuse of a corpse, tampering with evidence, theft, and receiving stolen property. He pled not guilty Friday in Miami County Municipal Court and is being held in the county jail. Police in Randolph County, Indiana, found a body Friday in the area where Huggins said he disposed of Ho's body. Officials were working on confirming identification, Troy Police Chief Sean McKinney said Friday afternoon. The charges filed against Huggins allege he caused the death of Ho with prior calculation, altered or destroyed evidence, stole Ho's car and his credit card. The abuse of a corpse charge alleged the cutting off of the victim's thumb and keeping it to access the use the victim's cell phone. Police said they received a report around 8:30 a.m. Thursday from roommates that Ho was missing under suspicious circumstances from their apartment on Morning Glory Circle. Others who lived in the house told police Ho was missing under suspicious circumstances with his car, suitcase, and a mattress missing and his glasses and shoes left behind. McKinney said police believe Ho was killed at the apartment. A roommate reportedly told detectives that she noticed the trash was missing from the trash can Thursday morning, and police said there was a smell of bleach in the garage, where bleach bottles were found in a recycling bin. They also reported seeing blood splatter on the garage floor, according to a police report. Roommates of Ho reported that he had sent strange texts to them at 2:45 a.m. and failed to show up at work that morning in Miamisburg. McKinney said police believe Huggins, not Ho, sent the strange text messages, he said. Police spent the day looking for Ho and notified other agencies to watch for him and his car. Law enforcement officials in Kettering found Ho's vehicle there around 6:30 p.m. Thursday. Blood was found in the vehicle, according to the Detroit police report. McKinney said Huggins' interview led to key pieces of evidence being recovered. That's some wild shit. This is about as bad as the story I did last week on the live stream of the two guys getting into it and over what a mosquito looks like. Because at least in that situation, nobody died, but people got injured. But this guy killed his roommate and cut his thumb off to use his cell phone. And see, yeah, like John Ohm says, well, with the missing head, it's harder for someone to use facial recognition software on an individual. Yeah, see, for me on my phone, I don't use that thumbprint thing. Mine's is like the facial recognition thing for me. That's what I use. That's what I prefer to use. And with the password, I don't think anyone's going to figure my password out if I have to type it in. But that's crazy. That is wild. Well, his life is pretty much done. But look at the lengths that he went to use that cell phone. Like, again, I'm still trying to figure out why he tried to use it, unless he did that to try to throw off people worrying about the victim. Because, people will be asking, like, where is he at? How is he doing? So he probably tried to, like, text, people to say he was okay. But they said the text messages were very strange and not really like or coming of the person of the victim. And then that's when the suspicion started to rise, and then that's what led to him getting caught. But yeah, you got some weird people out here. You have some weird people, and he looks weird. I'm gonna be honest. He looks extremely weird. He got that 70s fro with that 70s stash. Well, he can have fun wherever it is he's going, because I highly doubt well, I don't know. He might be able to use a cell phone where he's going, but it most likely won't be one that needs a thumb to unlock it. Live from NYC say he looks like a 70s villain. He does. Like, that's what I said. He looks like something straight out of the 70s. Like I said, he got that mustache, that stash in the fro. Yeah, he's pretty much done. And they set his bail high because it looks like he probably can't even afford to pay that bail. I'm gonna just be honest. Yeah, and they said smell of bleach. Yeah, like this was a messy scene right here. He was trying to get rid of that evidence hard. Jordan said that porn stash. Yeah, exactly. He got that Ron Jeremy. He got the he got the Ron Jeremy stash. The fact to say he looked like Drake uncle. But yeah, he's pretty much done. Let's go ahead and move on to the next story, and that is involving the rapper Fabulous. I don't know if y'all heard about what recently happened with Fabulous, but he was racially profiled during a live interview that he did with that imbecile Jim Jones. You know, we already went on Jim Jones, but this is not about Jim Jones. But he was profiled while on a live interview with him. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read the article, then I'm gonna play the video because there is actual video because he was on live when it happened, and we'll examine it further. And like I said, it actually alludes to a bigger thing that I've talked about on my channel many times. And it's crazy that Jim Jones is the one that's interviewing Fabulous and Fabulous being profiled, but we'll get into that. It says two good friends were just chopping it up on a live stream together, but unfortunately they were interrupted by alleged racial profiling. It's easy to find Jim Jones and Fabulous posted up together, whether they're making fun of one another's gym drips or sharing jokes on social media. Jones is taking over with his hilarious weather reports, and he decided to add Fabulous to the mix with a live interview. Fab was in his car on the side of the road at the time, and someone was paying attention. The pair was sharing the screen as Jones asked his rap peer about the new music Fab has on the horizon. Once the weather started breaking, it feels like it's a little bit of the Fab time, he said. I'm definitely working on some music right now, and I'm trying to get ready for summer. Then Fab says, oh, wow, as someone approaches. A police officer asked Fab why he is sitting in his car in that area. I was just pulled over to do this interview on the phone. Jones chimed in asking if that was really the police. Fab said, yeah, police pulled up on me. Jones told him not to worry because he wanted to get you out of harm's way. The rappers gave their goodbyes. Fab signed off, but Jones wasn't finished processing the exchange. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and play what actually happened. Like this actually happened on the live. So let me go on here.
Store, do you
Hold on, let me enlarge it right quick.
have in store? Do you have some music about to drop? Let us know.
Oh yeah, man. I see once the weather start breaking, it feel like it's a little bit of Fab time for me. So I definitely working on some music right now, and trying to get like ready for summer. You know what I'm saying? Like New York, you know, it's a big change. Oh wow.
So someone called to those no plates in this car, so that's why we're out here.
What happened?
All right. I just pulled up.
You got a business?
Nah, I was just pulled over to do this interview on the phone, and
Oh, okay.
this is
police?
wild right now. Police pulled up. Yeah, police pulled up on me.
Oh man, don't worry about it, bro. Let's get you out of harm's way. I appreciate you. I love you, Spence. I'm gonna see you at the gym.
Thank you. All right, man.
All right.
Okay, so there it is right there. So it sounds to me like someone called the police because they saw that Fab did not have any plates on his car, which I can understand because if you're a celebrity and you're driving a nice vehicle, you don't want people knowing your license plates because that's how you get stalkers. People will look up them plates, take a picture of it, and follow you and try to have it traced. Just like a lot of celebrities aren't listed. Like you can't find their numbers listed in any type of phone directory, so you can just call them up and just find out who they are or where they're at. So I can understand that. And I'm sure with him, you know, having the level of fame that he does, there's something that has to be signed to say, look, he's who he is, and this is why he doesn't have plates. And then you have, and here's a black man driving a nice car. I don't know what type of car he's driving because they didn't specify, but it's none of our business. And they saw, and it's like, there's this black man, he's driving this such and such car, and he doesn't have any plates. I think it might be stolen, you know, because they like his no license plates means it's probably stolen. I think it might be stolen. Can you come out here and investigate for me? It was probably some Karen, knowing her behavior, or maybe a Ken, I don't know, that called. Kid Gravity said more than likely a Karen that called. Kid Gravity said he should have kept the live going. yeah, a lot of people in the comment section was saying that he should have kept the live going. I agree, he should have kept it going. But it doesn't sound like anything really happened or came of this, because it doesn't go past this. Like, I don't hear anything else that's saying that there was any type of confrontation or whatever. But the reason why I'm talking about this is because this, remember, a couple years ago, this happened to Dr. Dre. Not in the same frame, but it definitely involved the vehicle, not his own, though. Remember, a couple years ago, Dr. Dre was at home, just, chilling. What is this? Another day for him, when some random PC person was parked outside of his driveway, and he would not leave. He got into it with Dr. Dre. They go and exchange words. The PC guy calls the cops on Dr. Dre. They come and they arrest him in his driveway in front of a home that he pays the bills for, and whatever else, and any other amenities that's for that house. And what happened to the PC guy? Psh, well, you already know, not a damn thing. Jay Lava, he says they was hating on this car. Most likely, like I said, you have a black man driving a nice car. And that goes back to what I was always saying, that black people can't have nice things in America without suspicion being attached to it. But like I said, it's very poetic that Jim Jones is the one that's interviewing him, because remember, a couple of months ago, Jim Jones was getting upset inside of the Gucci store because he felt like they wasn't serving him after spending 2 hours in Gucci. But of course, nobody was really on Jim Jones' side because of the stuff that came out of his mouth. So I thought it was just rather poetic to me. But yeah, it just, like, live from NYC said it looks like a Rolls Royce. Maybe, I can't really tell. I was trying to see if I can get a glimpse of a logo, but I couldn't really see anything. But it's most likely a very nice luxury car vehicle for sure. But yeah, Jim Jones, like Jordan said in the chat, clown. Standing in that Gucci store for 2 damn hours. I wish I would. I wish I would. I saw another comment in here, not related to the story, but I wanted to address it. Let me see if I can go back up here and catch it. PD Chicago says, I got to send you a playground believe it. Oh, I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what video you're talking about. And in my opinion, the father who was recording that took way too long to react. Basically, what PD is talking about, because I don't know if I'm talking about it or not, and I'm mentioning it now, it was a video that went viral on social media. I saw it on Twitter last night, where you had this black girl and this white girl trying to go down the slide. Well, the black girl was trying to go down the slide, but the little white girl was blocking the black girl from sliding down the slide, like using her legs and her arms to keep the little girl from going down the slide. And I felt bad for the little black girl because she kept looking at the camera or looking at her dad, because her dad was recording this. She was looking at her like, Dad, can you come and help me? Because this little bitch is keeping me from going down the slide. And you can see the evil in this little girl's eyes. Not the black girl, the little white girl. You see the evil in her eyes. It almost looked like the devil's about to jump out of her. Like, it looked crazy. And then all of a sudden, the little white girl tries to bite the little black girl on her forehead. Like, all you saw was like her mouth open up and like literally go to her forehead, like she was trying to bite her. And then that's when the father drops the phone and goes in. I'm like, you took too long to react. Because had that been my child, I don't care. Hands would have been thrown onto the child and to the parent. Maybe possibly at the same time, we could line you up in line formation, and we just go down the line and slap every last person that's involved with that family that was there at the park that day. I see some people in the chat are familiar with the video that I'm talking about. But yeah, I saw that and I was like, I was mad at the dad for just sitting there recording this incident where his daughter clearly is being harassed, because that's what it looked like to me, by this little white girl who looked like she, like someone said in the chat, children of the corn. Afro Lisa, I didn't hear about this. Yeah, it's on Twitter. I wish I would have sent it to myself, and I could have sent it to you. But yeah, I saw it last night. on Twitter. If it happens to pop up again, I'll send it to you. RG types of exorcist type. Yeah, that's the other one. She looked really possessed. Like her face when she when I'll try to see if I can make the face. When she was trying to push her, like when she was trying to block her from going down the slide, her eyebrows went like this. She was like this. I don't know if y'all can see it. But she looked like this. Like that. Like her eyebrows went up like this. It was so scary to see that on a child. You know, you can usually see that on an adult because adults can really make their faces do things that a child can't. Because a lot of children facial muscles aren't there yet. But the fact that her face looked like this at that young of an age, that was creepy. PD said, I understand the legal part, but not. Oh, yeah. I would have caught the charge that day if it meant defending my child. Because it was one thing that you use your legs to try to block my child to go down the slide, but it's another when you try to bite my child. And she opened her mouth as wide as she possibly could, as if she tried to take a chunk out of this girl's head. Like, I'm talking about chompers, as if she was Jaws. But anyway, let me move on to the next story. I didn't mean to spend any time on that, but I just wanted to bring that to y'all just because a lot of people weren't familiar with that video. But yeah, that shit pissed me off because the dad should have acted way more quicker. It shouldn't even got to the point where the girl should have been able to open her mouth to prepare to bite his daughter. It should not have gotten to that point. But anyway, let's move on to the next story. Now, if y'all follow me on Twitter, I posted a poll the other day. I said, who's more toxic, Jada Pinkett Smith or Gia Casey? In case y'all didn't know who Gia Casey was, she is the wife of DJ Envy, you know, from the Breakfast Club. And of course, in an overwhelmingly results, Jada won by a landslide. But when people found out who Gia Casey was, I realized that the results in the poll for her started to climb a little bit higher, even though Jada still won. And the reason why I said that is because of this recent thing that came out about her in an interview that she did. Now, Gia and DJ Envy have been married for probably over 20 years now. And they have like a boatload of kids. But allegedly, and it may not even be alleged, and it wouldn't shock me if it isn't, DJ Envy has stepped out on Gia, meaning he cheated on her, a couple of times. And then she has this interview recently where she just basically comes out of the blue and says flat out to the world or whoever is watching at large that she has faked orgasms while having sex with her husband for 10 years. Nino Black said I should have added Gabrielle. Oh yeah, you're right about that. You know, my nickname for Gabrielle Union is the High Priestess Witch. And by the way, I have a video coming about that picture with, you know, the Wade family and quote unquote Zaya Wade and their partner. That's coming up tomorrow. So definitely stay being tuned for that one. But she said that she faked orgasms for 10 years. Darlene said, how many kids do they have? Shit, I've lost count. They have a lot of kids. I will say that. I want to say they have no less than 5 kids. I want to say they have no less than 5 kids. But she says she has faked orgasms for 10 years. So you're talking about dating back to 2012. And many are saying that she said this in revenge because of him cheating on her. So I'm trying to wonder, is she being serious or is she being genuine? Now look at this quote that he gave. He said, it hurt me because I thought I was pleasing my wife. Now, I want to say this. I'm not a fan of DJ Envy because he has said some things in the past that have really rubbed me the wrong way. However, if my wife came out to the world and said something like this on a public forum and embarrassed me like that, I'm gonna see if there's a way I can file some divorce papers. There is no way that this marriage can go on, and you have the nerve to say that out loud when that's something that should be spoken about in private. Because the way it's sounding to me is that they've never had the conversation about this in private. So the first time she admits this is to everyone. That's messed up. No, I know you're probably upset that your husband cheated on you, but you're not the first wife to get cheated on. But you're one of the few wives to get on a platform and actually make this statement. Like, a conversation like this should have been just between him and her, not her and everybody else that's not involved with your marriage, which should be nobody. It should just be you and your husband. Live from NYC said Gia got a red table at the crib. A red table. Imagine that. Gia Casey going on the red table talk with Jada. Two toxic wives. Live said Envy sides was stopping Frisk because his father was a cop, so I feel nothing for that lane. That's why I said I don't like DJ Envy because of his views on a lot of things. He has a lot of very conservative views, and there's nothing wrong if you want to have conservative views, but a lot of those views are against Black people. And DJ Envy would not have a career if it wasn't for Black people. Let's just keep it real. Afro said it's about to be the Real Housewives of the Red Table Talk. Right. I said her and Jada will be perfect on some Real Housewives show, because that's all they do on there is talk a bunch of BS to each other and about each other. No loyalty at all. K-Bot said Steph Curry's mother was on Red Table Talk, and we all see how that happened. Right. And isn't she a wife, or she was a wife? But yeah, like, that's like messed up. Like I said, if you had an issue with that and a genuine issue, that's something we should have talked about with each other, not with the world. What's going on, Craig J. Jordan said, but he did cheat, so I can't feel too bad for him. Should have been hitting it right. But my thing is this. Let's flip it on its other side. Let's do a 180 right quick. What if DJ Envy came out and said that about, said something about his wife when it came to the bedroom or something like that, and she was cheating on him? They would have said, oh, you're being misogynistic. And y'all know they would have said it. Y'all know they would have said it. Wagner said, I kind of miss when celebs had some mystery about them because things are better left unsaid or kept behind closed doors. Me too, but then you know what happened? Social media. When social media really took off, and I'm not talking about Facebook and MySpace, because it was still like kind of in its early stages. And back then you had to have a computer of some kind in order to use those things. So it wasn't on the go. But when that smartphone and them apps came out, and Twitter and Snapchat and then TikTok and all those other things, and now everything's on the go, and now everyone has access, that's when it happened. When the social media boom really hit, that's when stuff really wasn't so private anymore. Live from NYC said Gia didn't think about the kids when she said that. I guess not. And like I said, they got like 5 kids, and they're 5 young kids. I want to say the oldest is probably in their early teens, maybe possibly in their early teens, but they're still, all their kids are still minors. Pinky JYB said maybe she did cheat during their marriage and internally compared them to the men who were hitting it right. Possibly. But yeah, like part of this is DJ Envy's karma though, because of the stuff that he has said in pertaining to the Black community on the Breakfast Club. in the past. So it is what it is. But at the end of the day, I still think it's messed up for her to put something like that out there into the open. Like, we needed to know that. But like I said, had he said something like that about her, you already know they would have said toxic masculinity, misogynistic, and all types of other stuff. Because according, believe all women, right? I've never liked that phrase either. Nightfall Drop said if the divorce laws were changed, I bet you these women wouldn't be so slick at the lip. You're right about that, because when it comes to divorce court, they usually like to side a lot with the woman. And then, for instance, if y'all remember when Mary J. Blige was going through that divorce with her ex-husband, whose name is I think his name is Kendu Isaacs or something like that, the one who was with her through a lot, ended up getting divorced. People got so mad when the judge sided with him and her paying him alimony. Like, they actually got mad that she had to pay. I'm like, y'all forget that Kendu was her manager throughout that duration of their marriage and helped her through a lot of stuff. He was a huge intricate part of her career in the late 90s and early 2000s, and even to the point where up to when they got divorced. They got so mad at that. The thought of a judge siding with the man and not her, they was like, what part of the game is this? And that's when, a lot of women think they should get all of it. They think they should get all of it. But of course, that has since fizzled out since then. But anyway, let's move on from this. We're going to go from this to this idiot right here. And I did call him an idiot on social media the other day. Malcolm Nance. Malcolm, Mr. Wanna Call FBA Russian bots Nance, along with Joy Saturn Rings Around the Neck Reed. Y'all can't tell me that woman don't have Saturn rings around her neck. Neck just be sitting there and got all them rings and circles around her neck. Every time I see her on screen, I be like, look like her neck is hula hooping. Malcolm Nance, though, said that he cannot just sit idly by and watch the people over in the Ukraine get pummeled the way that they are. So I'm going to do what it is as a true American. And I'm going to suit up, and I'm going to tool up, and I'm going to go fight. Shout out to Professor Black Truth, by the way. He did a very excellent broadcast talking about Malcolm Nance, by the way. Shout out to him, as he does on all of his videos, especially on his Moment of Truth commentaries that we get blessed with Monday through Friday. This guy had all the smoke for Black people when we were talking about, reparations and everything like that. And he wants to go suit up and fight for another nation. I'm like, did he not get the memo of what they will call you when you are over there? You got Black people that were over there trying to leave, and you're a Black person trying to get in. They over there still trying to get Brittany Griner out of there. And you want to go in? Nigga, you must be a new fool trapped in an old fool's body. Right, Craig? Go over there to get called a nigga. And of course, you had PC just singing his praises. Oh, Malcolm, that is such a patriotic thing to do. Oh, you are such a great American. It's the same thing that they do when it comes to Black people whenever they compete in the Olympics. We nigga on any other day, but the minute we compete in the Olympics, yes, America, America, red, white, and blue. It's funny to me. It's hilarious. It's funny. Come on now. Y'all know that's funny. That's hilarious. That was a little jokey joke. But he wants to go fight for another nation. Meanwhile, we have a whole bunch of stuff going on over here that needs to be taken care of, that he could fight for. And that's the hill he wants to climb up and die on. Crystal Chin said, what is it with all these articles of black men, older black men signing up for this? Reminds you of that other story about that other black man that's out of Michigan who said that he wanted to go fight, and he looks like he's around the same age as Malcolm Nance. Malcolm Nance is in his early 60s. What the hell are you doing? If you don't take your old nigga ass back across the states and sit down in your hover round and stop playing like you in Call of Duty or you goddamn G.I. Joe, or you're part of the commando elite and small soldiers. Yes, I took it that far back for those of you who don't know. Up there taking pictures and photo ops and whatnot with his gun in his hand and his military. Look like he squeezed back into his military uniform. Nigga, can you breathe? Jordan, yeah, that's the one I was talking about. The one from Michigan. Malcolm Nance is a dumbass. Point blank, period. Nightfall Drop says, do we care? No, we don't care, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to say nothing. Because I'm going to put it like this. If something was to happen to Malcolm Nance, what do you want me to do? I mean, I know what I'll do in the form of a commentary, but that's about it. And like Professor Black Truth said in his videos, he's doing this probably most likely for a book deal. He's trying to elevate his popularity because he has none and it's decaying. He's trying to elevate his popularity amongst the masses that most likely wouldn't give a damn about him on any other day. So even if he was to win, he gained something. If they were to lose, he gained something. So he knows what he's doing. He's being very strategic about it. But at the end of the day, still a dummy. I feel nothing for Malcolm Nance. I think what gets it to me, like I said, is he insulted FBA one too many times, especially with that Russian bots nonsense. But he wants to take up arms to go help fight in another nation that could give a damn about him. They don't need your help. Just all you have to do is mind your business. Now, if you get stuck over there, that's on you. Because I'll be damned if I'm going to go fight for another nation that hates my guts. But then again, we don't have many Muhammad Alis. Remember, they tried to send him over to Vietnam. He's like, why would I want to go fight over there? They haven't done anything against me. And if I go over there and I happen to make it back, I'm going to end up coming right back to the same hate that I left. Come back to the same hate that was here that I left when I left. So what's the point? Now, wouldn't that be something? Malcolm Nance go over there and fight over there, and they try to like sing his praises, and he come back over here and he gets racially profiled. They don't give a damn. Do you know how many black military members have been racially profiled? Let's look at the cop last year, the year before last, that was racially profiled. The one in Virginia who was in his vehicle and he was pepper sprayed or maced and arrested in his uniform, might I add. They didn't care. All they saw was a black man and a nice vehicle. They didn't see his uniform. They didn't care about his position in the military. All they saw was the skin that was wearing the uniform. That's it. So Malcolm Nance, why you want to go over there and act like you goddamn G.I. Joe? You really over there being a goddamn G.I. joke. But let's move on. I got two more stories. Now, this one right here, My God. See, this is exactly why I have said that those who are identified as trans, who are biologically born as men, do not need to be in the women's prison. So you got this E.J. Johnson looking individual, because he do look like E.J. Johnson, who is identified as trans, impregnated a woman at the New Jersey prison, and is also currently serving life for a double killing. Y'all heard that correctly. This is not. I heard about this story, but I didn't dive into it because I wanted it to be fresh by the time I got to it on this live stream. But has anyone else in here heard about this story? Has anyone else heard about this? RJ Lloyd said, wasn't it two women? I think it was two women. Craig said that's Simone saying his little brother. Crystal Chin said nature will come through. Exactly. Nature always comes through. This person may identify as quote unquote trans, but that nature will always come through. This individual still likes what he likes. I wonder if anybody who's in Hall T gonna say anything about this. Probably not. So I won't hold my breath. Let's see. The identity of a transgender inmate responsible for impregnating two female prisoners at Etna Mahan Correctional Facility is now public, and one of the mothers likely will never be able to raise her child. A new letter from a prisoner at Etna Mahan Correctional Facility identifies two pregnant inmates and the trans inmate who impregnated both of them. The letter to New Jersey 101.5 also makes note of the inmates' lengthy sentences. Now you got to take this into consideration. One, you got pregnant by this person who identifies as trans. Now you won't be able to raise your child, and this person is in prison for life for a double homicide. It seems to me that even in prison, some of them don't know how to choose well. How is that possible? How is it you don't know how to choose well outside of prison, and you don't know how to choose inside of prison? How is that possible? Somebody in the comment section, please help a brother out, because I don't know. This is a new phenomenon right here. How do you choose a dusty individual in prison and outside of prison? Somebody help me out with this, because I don't know. This is a new phenomenon. All three are at the state's only women's prison. Their relationships were consensual, even though sexual contact is not allowed. One of the pregnant women named in the letter has no release date. She will be eligible for parole. And damn, 2104. Damn, I had to look at that to make sure that 2104. Damn. That's a long time. 2104. 2104. I'm stuck on that number. Now 31 years old, she was convicted of murder and felony murder for the April 2010 double killing of a Hudson County couple. Now, look, this is what gets me. They're referring to the person as she, but they got two women pregnant. I swear the utter confusion and chaos of it all. Listen, I know Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is coming out in a couple of weeks, and I can't wait, just like many other people. But goddamn, I think we might already be there when a chick with a dick. Isn't that what's her face? What's their face called it? Sydney Starr. I remember I did a video about Sydney Starr a few months ago, and they said that they just a chick with a dick. I didn't know biologically born women had that. At least I know that they should not have that. But they're referring to this person as she, and the person impregnated 2 females. This is the victims were killed in a carjacking on their way home from their engagement party. The other pregnant woman is just 20 years old, according to the letter. She is set for release in 2027 and is currently at Etna Mahan on 3 separate aggravated assault charges. The transgender woman at the center of the controversy has been publicly identified as Demi Minor. They spoke to NJ.com through a volunteer prison advocate in an app called JPay. Minor is set for release in 2037 and is not eligible for parole, according to the State Department of Corrections. The lengthy sentence comes from 2 separate crimes committed in 2011 at the age of 16. Minor pled guilty to carjacking and aggravated manslaughter charges. In the second case, she admitted in court to stabbing her male victim repeatedly. The victim was Minor's foster father, who she stabbed 24 times while burglarizing his home. A state court of appeals ruling from 2014 still addressed Minor as a male. It's unclear when they came out as a transgender woman, probably when they found out that they was going to have to spend time in a men's prison. Minor told NJ.com that they were undergoing hormone therapy. They also reportedly requested for an orectomy to remove their testes. It's also unclear what will happen to the inmates' future children. Minor note, imagine that your child grows up and finds out that, okay, they have quote unquote 2 mothers, quote unquote. But imagine your child finding out that one of your mothers was once identified as a man. I swear these kids today are going to need therapy out of the womb. Now I can see why people said that this story was a wild story. Now I see why people said it's a wild story. Many of my advocates and support team have already said they will ensure this child will never touch a foster home, Minor is quoted as saying. In the text interview, Minor gave details about her experience with gender-based discrimination at Etna Mahan. They added the guards have called her a predator and others view her as a dangerous only because of her gender identity. I do not think I am a threat to my fellow inmates because I never harmed anyone. I chose to love. Minor is quoted as saying, I have my own childhood trauma and plights that have made me just as vulnerable as the women here. My institutional record while here must speak for itself. The state DOC, or Department of Corrections, did not respond to a request for comment from New Jersey 100.5 Wednesday afternoon. I'm trying to wrap my mind around everything that I just read, but I think that's virtually impossible because this is a lot to unpack. Exactly, RJ Lloyd, I'll add on a word to that, a hot ass mess. Live said, I think taxpayer dollars for prison transformers. So yeah, you're right about that. A lot of taxpayer dollars do be going to a lot of their gender reassignment surgeries and everything like that. But this is a weird story right here. And like I said, how do you explain that to the children? How? Like, that's something that I would probably want to, grow up in life not knowing or live in denial. Like, if I had to be the child or the product of this, I would rather grow up not knowing any of that existed or how I came to be. I don't care. Tell me that I'm a test tube baby, that you went down to the clinic and you got some sperm and you put it in you and you got pregnant and boom, here I am. I'll go with that. Faster than this. I said those women must have really been craving. And I'm gonna sound like Bernie Mac right quick when he was on Def Comedy Jam back in the day. Those women must have really been craving the dick. Shout out to Bernie Mac. R.I.P. to that man. That much that they would allow themselves to not only get screwed by this individual, but get pregnant by them too. So they was really fiending for it, and they must have really wanted to have a child. This whole situation is crazy. I would say this could be something taken to Maury, but Maury's been canceled after years of ratchetness on that show. Jerry Springer, isn't he a judge now? Craziness, I tell you, just craziness. But like someone said, it's the nature. This person may identify as trans, or they might have taken some hormone supplements or whatever to try to remove any type of testosterone from themselves, but they still have the equipment down there that's still clearly working and allows them to push semen out and in to somebody else to get them pregnant. This is why I call it the Academy, y'all. This is why. Well, one of the reasons why. But let me go ahead and get on to the last story. And this is more of a positive story right here. And I have to play it with it muted because I think it's music in the background. But basically, when I heard about this, I said I wanted to incorporate this in here, like end it off on a good topic of this young lady out of Florida whose name is Trinity Thomas. And she's a gymnast, and she got a perfect 10 at the NCAA Gymnastics Championship that was just held. I think, what's the date on this? April 16th. So this was last week. And she got a perfect 10. And not only did she get a perfect 10, she was the only gymnast at this event that got a perfect score. Everyone else either got a 9 or lower. So I'm going to play it, but like I said, I'm playing it without the sound because even though they're commentating over the sound, you can still hear the music in the background, and I ain't trying to take the risk. One thing I didn't notice until I just saw it now is that her teammates are back there doing the routine with her. So that means that they've seen her do this routine so many times that even they memorized her hand movements. Nightfall Draw says it's probably because Leah Thomas is in swimming, not gymnastics. So I highly doubt that Leah Thomas could do this. And that's her whole routine right there. And she got a perfect 10 on that. But I just wanted to show that. Shout out to her. Only one that got a perfect 10 that day out of all the ones who competed. And I think that's her family right here. Okay. With that being said, that was the last thing I wanted to talk about. And last thing I wanted to talk about on the channel today. Shout out to everybody who came through. Shout out to anybody who subscribed to is new. Shout out to everybody who shared this stream. I definitely greatly appreciate it. We will be back on my main channel next week, of course, for Freestyle Friday. If Spidey is in here, I know he can't wait for that. He probably got a countdown right now. We're going to be doing the Freestyle Friday on the main channel a week from today, and that's going to be very good because that's going to be the last stream that I do on for the next week or so, because of course y'all know I will be out of town the following week. So with that being said, y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Go outside, do something outside, because it's nice outside. It's really nice out. At least where I'm at, it's really nice. Go outside, do something, with yourself, with someone else, family, whatever the case may be. Enjoy your weekend. We'll be back at the videos tomorrow, 3 videos, 10 a.m., 2 p.m., and 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the main channel. And with that being said, I will talk to y'all later.